Right, the report reaching the table of Neo Africa is that Cameroon is becoming a dynasty. Cameroon is becoming a family business. Why am I saying so? There's some allegation that Cameroonian President Paul Biya want to choose his son to be the vice president of Cameroon.
Breaking news, bad things are happening in Cameroon. Is there really democracy in Africa? According to Ibrahim Traore, there is no such thing as democracy, and all bad leaders, they should be removed by force. So Cameroonians, they've been trying to remove their president. This president has been the president of Cameroon for over 40 years. They have tried everything, protesting, and nothing happened. Nobody is listening to them, and yet they are saying that there is democracy in Cameroon. Until they give up everything, and they say they just have to wait until this guy dies because he is old. They just have to wait so that they can choose the leader that they want. But guess what? The president appointed a new vice president, and this new vice president is his son. This is the first time in over 40 years that there is a vice president in Cameroon. What does this say? The president of Cameroon right now, he is 93 years old. He is already kicking the bucket, about to kick the bucket. This means that the son is the one who is going to take over and be the president of Cameroon. This means that the circle is going to continue. The vice president of Cameroon, the son of the president of Cameroon, Paul Biya, he's going to be the president of Cameroon when their father kicked the bucket.
You know, the reality is Paul Biya has been in power since 1982. That is over 40 years in power, 40 years in leadership. That means if you are born 40 years ago, you are already old and still you are ruled under one president. That means that the measures that he was applying 40 years ago, he's still applying those measures this era of 2026. From 1982 up to now, we still have a... Okay, the issue is not that a president being on the seat for too long. The issue is he the one who is ruling Cameroon? Is he the one who is the commander-in-chief who is making decisions, or there's some forces behind him? And that's where we go wrong as African countries. We don't allow fresh minds to come in power because we have fresh minds who will say, you know what, I have seen this in Singapore, I want to apply this in our country. I have seen this somewhere else in Nairobi, I want to apply this in our country. The one who is in leadership will say no because he don't know about the skyscrapers or about the technology, about the AI. He doesn't know youths need to go boxing and fight. So they still have that old mindset, you know what? This one cannot be applied in this one. So Paul Biya has been there for over 40 years in leadership. And his son, named Frank Biya, is often mentioned in political discussion. It's not bad for a kid to take over his father when his father retires. But it is bad when you make a country as a family dynasty, when you make a country as a family business. You know? We have bigger issue political dynasty in Africa, and that is what is taking Africa down. For example, we had Ali Bongo. Ali Bongo took over from his father. Faure Ganisije or Gasije, family rule. We have Joseph Kabila succeeded his father. And then in Uganda, I hear rumors that General Muhoozi is going to take... from his father again. Are we really safe? If you are from Cameroon, are we really safe? Are you really safe? Are you really okay with the Paul Biya presidency? I'm not saying that it's bad to be ruled for 40 years, but we need fresh minds. We have youths who have fresh minds. We have youths who will take the country forward. We have youths who have idea to stop exploitation and everything. So if you be in this seat for 40 years, that means you're not bringing anything new to the table. What you are bringing to the table is the old narrative, the old script. You are still using the old script, the old mindset. Man, they usually say, whatever a young man can see while standing or cannot see while standing, an old man can see while sitting down. But that does not apply in real life situation. No. That does not apply that. Because we are in Generation Z, going to Generation Alpha. It is 2026. And the old scripts of 1980 cannot work today in the era of technology, in the era of WhatsApp and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok. Because in 1980, we were using smoke to communicate. We were using drums to communicate. If someone is dead here, you have to beat drums so that someone at the end can know that there is something that has happened on the other end. But we are in the era where even Paul Biya he doesn't know what is Facebook. Even if you tell Paul Biya that youths need to be employed through this social media, youths need to, they need to do this and this, he doesn't understand what's going on. Okay? So, what I will say, there's a dangerous pattern that is going on in Africa, and I don't like it. As an African, I call it out. Even the idea of leadership being passed down like inheritance, I call it out. Okay? Because the leadership should concern each and every African, because we have seen this pattern before in some countries and it does not work. Let's not pretend. In Gabon, power passed from father to son. Did it work? No. Omar Bongo and then Ali Bongo, but it didn't work. It's the same ideology, same idea, same script, like father, like son. In Togo, it happened. Eyadema, and then Faure came there as a son. In Democratic Republic of Congo, Kabila, Laurent, the father, and then to Joseph Kabila. So we must ask ourselves, if this is working, it's okay. I don't have a problem with the people of Cameroon. But to the Cameroon youths, this is your message. It is time for you to understand the patterns and the consequences that come when you don't fully take charge and fully take power in your countries. It is time you need to understand that you need to take part in the decision making of your country. You need to take charge in the decision making or in the leadership part. In Kenya, I could tell you, inafaa ukue kadi, uko kadi. You need to stand there. Africa fought colonialism. Africa fought oppression. Africa fought to reclaim land, dignity, and identity. But right now, what is the point of removing colonial rulers if we replace them with untouchable political families? What is that? Man, it is sad as a youth in Africa. I'm seeing this is happening in real time. I thought this will just be history I'll be reading in history books, but seeing this happening in real time and the youth of Cameroon are there clapping, jumping and saying, oh yeah, this is good. It's so bad. You were not born to be losers. You were born to be leaders. Every one of us was born to be winners, was born to be leaders, was born to take charge and to take part in the moving forward of the country. Our ancestors, our great-grandparents, they did great. Pursuing the colonizers. They did amazing job. You tell me, what are they thinking or how are they coping out when they sit somewhere else there when they are sitting and seeing that we are ruining our countries with our own hands? We cannot blame a white man here. We are not going to blame Europe countries here. We are blaming our own self, because if we take charge, things will change. Look at Ibrahim Traore in Burkinabe. The Burkinabe people decided to take charge themselves and things changed. In Kenya, in 2024, the youth of Kenya decided to stand up and to take charge, and it happened. We cannot be intimidated anymore. And this is happening because we have weak institutions. In many African countries, institutions are weaker than individuals. Law bend around power and leadership becomes colonized. We have elite protecting systems, And there is this fear of accountability. When I give power to another one, I will face these charges and these charges. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Africa is the youngest continent, and Africa is a continent that need to be, it's a continent that need to be there in front. Because as a continent that we have youths, that means we have fresh minds. That means we have youthful minds. That means we have minds that can take over. Africans, we are meant to build an economy, to fight the wars, to vote in elections, but where it reaches on leading, that's where they drew the point. Africa is not a family business. Africa is not a family business. But some leaders are treating Africa like inheritance, are treating their countries like inheritance. Right now, there's a conversation that is growing around Paul Biya, the president of Cameroon, and his son, Frank Biya. It's not confirmed facts, but it is serious discussion about power. There's a possible way that Paul Biya is going to elect his son or to choose his son to be the vice president of Cameroon. Okay? So it's like a family business. And let me tell you, this is bigger than we think. It's bigger than one country. Here in Kenya, in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Cameroon, in South Africa, in Burkina Faso, this is bigger than, it's an African issue. We have seen this before. We have seen in Ali Bongo, we have seen in Faure of Togo, Ali Bongo of Gabon. We have seen this. Power moving from father to son. And let me tell you, like father, like son, if you say Paul Biya is a bad leader, if you said Ali Bongo is a bad leader, if you say Museveni is a bad leader, that means even when you change power from father to son, it is the same ideology, same agenda, same ideas, same old script will be used in your country. Africa is the youngest country. Africa has a lot of youths where we are innovative, we are creative, hardworking. You know, we have power as Africans. We need to build our economy. We need to fight wars to take our countries forward. But again, we don't need to be left out as youths out of leadership. We need to take charge in leadership too. Let me ask you, are we building democracies or are we building modern monarchies? Are we building democracies or are we building modern colonial countries? This is our colony. We cannot blame a white man here. We can't blame a white man here. We are we are taking down our own countries by our own hands. And the youths are somewhere just clapping. If leadership is inheritance, then the youth, what about the people? You mean they were never meant to lead? You mean the youth of this family was never meant to lead? Because we have youths who have fresh ideas, good ideas, they can change our country. But because we have this old mogul here, with the old narrative, with the old script using, he doesn't even know what is social media, he doesn't even know what is TikTok, he doesn't even know that some people can get employment or some youths can get employment using these platforms. What he knows is the old systems. We are ruining our country. As an African youth, we need to check on that. Africa is not a family business. We must talk about political dynasties and we must end these political dynasties. You get that? Tell me what you think about this, what is happening in Cameroon. Tell me if you are happy with it. If you are Cameroon watching this video, if you are Cameroonian watching this video, tell me, are you okay with what is happening in your country? Or if you are from other country, tell me, are you okay seeing a son taking over a father after 40 years? Mind you, Paul Biya has been in power for over 40 years. So he's preparing his son to take over again at 40 years. That's 80 years. Come on, man. Come on, Africa. Come on, Africa. Come on.